So, greeting guys, welcome to Candid Diana. Have you ever wondered what it is that you can use to replace the other wheats, the whole grains, the white flour, and when making your pancakes, and they will still be very healthy. In fact, very healthy. Come, let me give you a sneak peek into what I use to make my pancakes, and I know, not that I hope, I know you will want to try it. Okay. In this episode, I am going to prepare my own breakfast. It is morning here and I can't wait to eat my breakfast. I'm going to prepare buckwheat amaranth pancake. So these pancakes, sometimes I prepare only with buckwheat flour, but to make it even richer, I add amaranth to it. Sometimes I will add almond flour to it, but I limit a lot of the almond because sometimes my kids would like to taste it, and so I don't want them to taste something without me being around and pick something that has a nut in it, because many kids react to nuts. In fact, my oldest Candy is allergic to nuts, so whenever she eats nuts, it's a very high reaction that happens, and I don't want that to happen. And so this morning I'm going to make the buckwheat amaranth pancake. These are very healthy flours, very healthy, does not have whole grains in them. I try to avoid whole grains. I don't eat a lot of that. In fact, I really limit. I don't eat even brown bread or brown rice. So most of my starchy food that I eat will be, of course, the buckwheats, the amaranths, and then I'll also eat arrowroots, sweet potatoes. I'll eat buckwheat spaghetti, and all those good stuff. So let's go on. This will take a very short time. I have so many shortcuts to follow in order to save time before I start preparing breakfast for the whole family, because it's like we eat in two different restaurants or two different menus. Okay, so for us to prepare this, of course, we need buckwheat flour. So the flour I use is Anthony's buckwheat flour, which is organic, and then I'll use the Herbazest amaranth flour, which is also organic, and then I will need a plant-based milk, and the milk that I use is the coconut organic milk. This is the one Candy drinks because she doesn't drink dairy. Also, I don't drink dairy, so whenever I need to make this, I also use this. I don't use the other nut milks because of the reason I gave you as I was starting this. And then I have baking flour, and I have cinnamon, just for some nice smelly pancakes, and then there's many people like sugar, so if you like to have that sweet taste, you'll want to add maybe maple syrup or some honey in it, but I don't want any added sugar in my food. Actually, I stopped the day I was diagnosed. I stopped eating sugar, processed, all those. I only get sugar from fruits, and I also stopped eating what else? I stopped eating a lot of stuff, dairy, sugar, and all that. So instead of the maple syrup or the sweeteners, I juice orange, and then I will add it in there to add me a little sugar in it, and as that does, I'm getting the good vitamins, and I'm also getting some stuff to fight bad stuff in my body. And what are we leaving out? So I'm not leaving out anything. So want to start this, I will take is it half plus quarter? How much is that? Is that 3/4? Yes, I need 3/4 of buckwheat. When it is only buckwheat, I take a whole cup of buckwheat, and that is enough. But when I'm adding amaranth, I'll have only a quarter cup of amaranth. I don't want to do equal. No, I only have quarter cup of amaranth. So I make it quite easy. I put them in my food processor to process that for me. Chop chop. I don't beat it slowly like that. So that is half. Then I'll get the quarter one. Oops, I'm making the place dirty. Put the quarter one. So that's it for the buckwheat. And then I take the amaranth. I take quarter of the amaranth, add it in there. So we are done with the flours, and then I take 1 teaspoon, the small one, of the baking flour, okay, and I will add it in there. And then I'll take just a little cinnamon, very little cinnamon, just a dash of it. Dash of the cinnamon, and I will add it in there. Okay. So I'm just remembering something else that I did not remember to put there. That is very, very important. It adds to my fat in there, and the protein is chia seed. So chia seed also goes in there. 1 tablespoonful of chia seed goes into the mixture. But what happens with chia seed, I have to soak it a little in a little water first before I add it to the mixer, just to help it swell a little before I mix it up with all the rest. And so I will soak it. So as it soaks, let's give it a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and mix up everything. Yes, it's ready. So yeah, they're nicely swell. They're just like a soft paste. So I'll just add them into the processor also. Okay. So some people normally want that one ingredient or one thing goes first, then another goes in. But for me, I want everything very simple. I just bulk everything together and I process. No time for all those. They'll all go and meet in my tummy, right? So next, like I told you guys, so here is where I don't want you to get confused. People who are still eating sugar or whatever. So for it to be sweet and taste sweet, you can choose to have to add maple syrup or honey. If you're adding maple syrup, please 2 tablespoonfuls of maple syrup or honey. Okay. However, for me, and if you choose to go that way, then your milk will be 1.5 cup milk, okay? But if you're not going to use the maple syrup, and in my case, I am substituting the sugar, I'm going to have the orange instead. So instead of having 1.5 cup of milk, I'm going to do 1 cup of milk and 1/2 cup of juice, okay? And I'm not going to get juice over the counter or anything. I am going to juice it myself because I don't want the ones that have added sugar or preservatives for them to be able to be on top of the shelf. So I'm going to juice my own orange, and then I'll add 1/2 cup into it, and then a cup of this. Okay, so I'll just juice this right now, and okay guys, the 1/2 cup of juice is ready. So I have my fresh 1/2 cup of juice, juiced at home, organic, very healthy. So I will add it onto the processor also. And then I'll get my 1 cup of the plant-based milk. Very thick, nice. So once I have all that in the processor, I'll just mix it up. You know, I do not do mix all the dry everything. They will meet in the processor. You know, serving time is very essential. Sometimes it gets really thick, so I have to help it out. All right, guys. The mixture is all ready, and something really good about this is I don't add any oil to it. The coconut milk will have some oil in it, and healthy oils, and the chia seeds also have some good healthy oil in them. And so I don't add any, even spraying on the skillet or anything. I don't add any. The skillet I'm going to use is a pancake skillet. It's a non-stick, so that takes care of all the spraying for it not to stick. So I just turn this on for it to begin heating up, so that we begin cooking. So as this is heating up, I'll be pouring it out from here. I don't want to make any other jug dirty. I tell you, just making it very easy to be in the kitchen, not filling up the sink with dirty utensil. So I'll just be pouring it out from this jug, and I'll do that fast because my bosses, the kids, are already starting to wake up, so I need to make them breakfast. And so as this is heating up, I'll also be setting ready my parchment paper, and that is how I freeze them. This recipe and everything, the ingredients I have in them, will produce this size, about 15 small sizes of pancake. Now one size has about 9 grams of protein, okay, per one. So you can take 1.5 or 2, but then sometimes I take just 1. Sometimes I'll take 1.5. But when I cannot finish all of them, which of course I cannot finish all of them, I have to freeze them. Now the thing about freezing is when I'm cooking, I'll be making them. Once they're ready, I put them here. But once they've cooled off, I will lay them on parchment paper. There's a lot of parchment papers that I've tried, but this is my best. I don't know the brand of it offhand, but I will check and I will add it on the comment section here on YouTube. But yeah, you freeze them in parchment paper. So these ones are so big, so what I normally do is I cut them into threes. Okay, so I'll show you with 1 or 2 how I do it, and then I place it in the fridge without putting in the Ziploc bag. So I place them in the bowl. I put them in there and I put them in the bowl for about 2 hours. Once they're in 2 hours, I take them out and then finish wrapping and put them in Ziploc bags, so they can stay in the fridge for 2 to 3 months. Okay, so I just pick and eat. That makes work easier for me, you know, so I don't have to be preparing this all the time, as I'm also preparing for the family. Alright guys, so I believe this is now ready. So what happens is I just pour it in and it's ready. So I can bring you closer so that you can see this a little closer. I believe you can see that well. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just filling up. This helps, this skillet, the pancake skillet, it helps so much because with the shapes, you know, if it's just on a flat pan without these holes, sometimes getting the round beautiful shapes is very difficult, and people like us who love shortcuts in the kitchen, we were not born cooks, we just want things being easy. So I just fill up all the 8 parts, not 8 parts, all the 7 parts with this. Okay, so those are 7 pancakes already getting ready, right? So we are now on the second batch. So literally it's going to give us 14 pancakes, because the first one that we put together, that's what we have. That's the first. There were 7, and this is the second batch, and you can notice there's no oil that we can say that we need to add in order for it not to stick, because it just comes out nice. So you can help it out with your hand. Look at that. It's very neat. So I just use a fork to be helping, and clean hands. If you're serving the family, you want to keep washing your hands. And you be careful. So try so much so that they don't stay for long on one side, because they can easily burn. They are swelling up so nicely. So the temperature I have this at how do you check this? It's a medium heat, not low, not high, but just enough. You can, so I'm not a chef. I won't give you an exact number, but I'll just tell you that you keep it at medium. Okay. Alright, so we let that side also stay for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we take out, and then I will show you how to pack them in parchment paper for the first round of the freezer, and then once you're done, put in Ziploc and let them stay in the freezer. So hey guys, the other sides are ready too. So we are ready to take them out, right? We are now ready to take them out of here. And so let's look at both sides. Look at the other side. Look at that side. Looks really good. Yeah, looks really good. Okay. So I'll just turn off this so that I just take them out. Oh, they look so good. So they're very rich, very rich. Just make sure they don't get burnt. They're smelling so good. The cinnamon. Okay. So we are done with that. So once we're done with that, we now get to the time for packaging them for the freezer. So so what I do with the parchment, that's the parchment paper. So I slice them because the pancakes are smaller. So I slice them into 3. Saves money, you know. So once I slice them into 3, I will take, and I'll move and take the ones that are already cooled down. So I'll take this and I put it in the parchment paper like that. Okay, and then I will wrap it. So for now I will not do that because I'm waiting for them to cool off. So the reason why you need to put in the parchment paper first is because when you keep them in the freezer all together without that parchment paper to separate them, they can stick together. They tend to stick together. So you need parchment paper to form that separation so that even when you're eating, if you want just one piece, you just take out one piece. It makes work very easy. Okay. So in the pictures I'm showing right now, those are the ones that I prepared before, and you can notice the parchment papers are white. So I already packaged them, I placed them in the freezer, I took them out and I put them in a Ziploc, and then I placed them in the fridge. So they're just there for me to pick up. So, right, guys, that's essentially how to make buckwheat pancake, buckwheat amaranth pancake, or buckwheat amaranth almond pancake. Depends on whatever flour you want to add, but those are the healthy flours. I would really encourage people who have gone through cancer, who are cancer survivors, and are trying to stay above ground for a longer time, trying to buy time. We are buying time, but our God has told us we are not really buying time. We're living. We're living because you see, I love this song that says, they told us it cannot be done. They told us it's impossible, but they do not know our God like we do, because his name has power. So always remember, as you have your clean nutrition, as you do everything possible, just remember the name that is above all names is the one that keeps you around and keeps you healthy. So I hope you did enjoy following through, and I want you to try and show me some pictures in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. All right, so till next time, bye.